Hello everyone. So I'm crossing some of my garden tasks that I need to finish before winter off of my list today. Today I'm going to scrub the pots that are still outside and then bring them inside. I'll probably have to let them dry for a little bit, maybe a couple hours hopefully, and then I can bring them back inside and store them. This is what is taking up most of the room on my deck right now. So I think once I get these cleared off, that'll make a little bit more space. And then I don't have maybe like 5 or 6 more items left on my before winter garden to-do list, but I like to, I have to bring all the pots inside that could potentially crack in the winter. So anything terracotta or ceramic, but I don't just want to bring them inside and just like leave them in a pile in a corner. I like to make them look a little prettier if I can. So that's going to be the plan, and I'll show you where I store them. So like I mentioned, I think in, some video, when I was dumping out the soil, anything that's in a plastic pot or a grow bag, even if it's empty, the soil stays in that stays outside. I use that as insulation for my perennials, which I will be keeping outside. Some of them. Most of them will be going in the garage, but it's just another added layer of protection for the root balls of some of my plants that do have to stay out here in the pots. So that is the plan. Let's go outside, scrape everything, let it dry, and move it inside. I do have a bucket of soapy water and a scrub brush here with me. That will go outside, and that's really all I do. Well, after I scrub them, I'll spray them with the hose, which means that'll be the last time I'm using the hose, so I can finally get that inside as well. Now, something I have heard that people do, except I don't think I know anyone personally that does this, is to disinfect your pot by soaking your pots in a mixture of water and bleach. I don't do that. I've never done that. And I've also read some articles that say it actually doesn't do much or anything. I've read some articles that say leave your pots out in the sun and that's enough. And that's what I've done just out of my own laziness after emptying out the soil and not cleaning them and bringing them inside for a few weeks now. But I'm the type of person who I'll kind of try the fewer step option at first. And then if I do have a problem, I will try additional steps. And I've always just, I think even the first couple of years when I didn't have so many pots, I just emptied them out and left them and didn't do anything else. And it's been fine. So that is just my plan. I'm just going to scrub them mostly to get the dirt off since they are going to be coming inside. If there ever is an issue, then maybe I'll soak it. But another thing is, the only place I really have to soak them, I guess, would be to fill a bathtub up. But then even some of my larger pots, I don't know if that would work. So anyway, I'm not going to be doing that. If you do that, let me know. But I, again, have never had issues. So if I did have an issue, then I would probably start doing that. But that's just my strategy. So now let me take you outside and I'll show you what I'm going to clean. Here's what I've got out here in the back. All my terracotta, this one and this one are staying outside. So I'm not going to scrub those, but then all of these terracotta. And I have pots on the front deck as well, but it'll be the exact same process. So I'll just show you how I'm going to scrub these and rinse them out, and then I'll move everything inside after they dry for a little bit. So since they've been outside, there have been some leaves that have fallen in there. So I'm just going to kind of scrape those out real quick. Like I said, probably should have moved them inside earlier. I guess I also do need to scrub the bottom because these will be stored on my table. So I might give those a little quick scrub. But just trying to get, they're not going to be, clean like they're new, but just getting some of the dirt out of here. Again, if these weren't going to be stored inside, I wouldn't care that much. Okay, so where did I put my scrub brush? Over here. Super quick, super easy, nothing mind-blowing here, but I think it's even good to share the simple things you do sometimes, because when you're first starting off, you don't know, I didn't know what to do with my pots, and it kind of took me a little bit to figure out what works best for me. And so this is what I do. And of course, things might change over time. I might tweak some things, but this so far, especially with storing them in a way that looks pretty over winter, is what I like. So I'm going to keep scrubbing, rinse them out, and let them dry. All right, so I've scrubbed the ones I'm going to scrub. Now I'm just going to spray them with a hose just to get the soapy water off, and then we'll let them dry. All right, I'm done with the set back here, so I'm gonna go do the ones up front, and then we'll meet again inside when these are dry and I'm ready to put them away for the season. But again, this isn't going to be, like, you even see some little dirt there. It's not going to be 100% clean like a new pot. There's still gonna be like some dirt stains and stuff on it, and obviously you can scrub them a little bit more intense if you want, but I'm just trying to get off any of the larger chunks of soil so that I'm not getting the inside of my house quite as dirty as I could if I didn't scrub them in the first place. So yeah, I'm gonna let these dry, get to the ones out front, and then we'll put them away. All right, well, it's the next day. I left all the pots outside to dry, and then the sun went down because we are at the time of year where the sun sets at 4:30. So trying to get in everything that I need to do in the daylight is a little bit tougher, but I went ahead and brought all the pots inside. So let me show you the pots I have and then where I'm going to store them. Here are all of the pots from both the front and the back deck. I feel like now that they're all here together, it doesn't feel like there are as many as I thought there were. Now again, this is only my terracotta pots. The plastic pots, grow bags stay outside. These are inside because they will crack if left out over winter. I think there's one more ceramic pot that I need to bring inside, but there's still some plants in it. Right now, I just moved them all in onto this blanket, but now let me show you where I'm going to store them. So if you've been here for a few months, you will have known that we just redid this room. I think it was over the summer. So new coat of paint, actual furniture instead of just a folding table and some mismatched chairs. So this is a kitchen island that I think I got it before we painted the room. So maybe this I had back in March. And I was specifically looking for something that, one, was like a standing height I could work at, and two, had a bottom layer so that I could put all of my pots there. Because again, I like things that are functional but also pretty. So I want somewhere where I can store my pots that also kind of acts as room decor in a way. So it'll just kind of look like you've walked into my potting room here. So all those are gonna go on the bottom shelf. I do have some things that I keep there during garden season. I'll move those around just to make room, but that was the main reason I was looking for something with a bottom shelf. So now we'll go ahead and get these all stacked and onto this table. All right, first things first, I'm just gonna take off the few pots that I have here. That way I can start probably with the larger pots in the back and then move smaller pots up front. I already brought these two in previously, and I just got, I think it's called a fishing basket, but I just got this from an antique store in the Starved Rock area, which is like a hiking area 2 hours outside of Chicago. And I think it'd be great for, one, a foraging basket, but also there's a hole in here, so I can put a vase inside or a jar of water inside and create a flower display. So I think that'll be really pretty. I think I'm going to do a video on all of the kind of antique finds that I've used for my garden and my houseplants, especially a lot of things that aren't specifically made for plants, but I've kind of turned them into that. And I think that'll be a fun little winter project. But anyway, let's get back to stacking all of the pots. I am trying to stack as many as I can while still making sure the drawers open and close fine. So that one looks good. I am also, I know that I am probably gonna get scratches on this table. I don't want to be too afraid to use my furniture that I never actually do use it, but I also am being, aware of not dragging the pots along the table to try to avoid any scratches. I think I need 4. So it looks like 4 is my max stacking for the 8-inch terracotta. Well, those are all the pots back under the table. Definitely is another sign that the garden season is over. So I just lined up the kind of regular general terracotta up front, and then coming around the side here, I put the larger pots in the back, saucers here, and it's pretty much like good and full back there. But I like this because to me, it almost feels like I'm walking into maybe like what would be an outdoor potting shed or greenhouse with all the pots stacked up, but I'm here inside my home because I don't have a potting shed or greenhouse yet. So that's everything I do. Not super complicated at all. Sometimes I wonder, are things so simple that it's a waste to show them? But then on the other hand, I think sometimes the simplest things you do can also be the most helpful. So yeah, I just rinse the pots out, give them a scrub, let them dry, and then put them here underneath the table. Some other ways that I can at least maybe try to think of to have them in your house but looking pretty, definitely like stacking them along the wall, and then maybe like, let's say this was all along a wall instead of underneath a table. And then on the top one, you could put like a house plant in every stack or every other stack, just to, again, make it look pretty with your decor if you do have to store your pots inside. Other things that I've seen are like take a stack, flip it upside down, and then lay a piece of wood across the top, or a couple pieces of wood, and then make a little potting bench or a little like plant display bench. So let me know if there's any other like creative ways or cute ways you can think to store your pots. But yeah, that's basically it. And this is actually a good like relief off of me because I had these pots on my deck. Like I emptied them out maybe a month ago and they've just been sitting on my deck. So now my deck is a lot more cleared out and I can continue doing all of the garden tasks I still have to do before winter gets here. So yeah, that's gonna be everything for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you do store your pots inside, let me know what you do with them, and then I will see you in the next one. Bye.